Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Nussbaum. I'm the Program Assistant at the Wayne County OSU Extension Office. Today we're going to be talking about taking forage samples, getting those tested for the dry matter, as well as you could also use the sample to go ahead and send that into the lab for a forage analysis. So today we have a forage probe that mounts onto just a typical battery-powered drill, and you can use this for small square bales, large square bales, or round bales as well. So you're basically just going to take this on your small square bales. Because the leaves are not evenly distributed in these, just the way the small square baler works, you're going to want to go somewhere in the middle between the two strings, and you're going to go through the different layers. So you just put it into forward. The probe has teeth on the end. You're going to go ahead and start it. It might twist a little bit, so it's a good idea to hang on to it. And then you're going to want to work it into the bale, moving just a little bit at a time. And this probe is designed this length, so in case you want to do round bale samples, you can get a better idea of what's in the bale. For the small square bales, through the depth of the bale, the sample is probably going to be pretty similar. The probe has an easy release on the side. You press in the button and can detach it from the drill. You're going to want to take a 5-gallon bucket or a bucket of some sort to collect your samples in. In order to get a representative sample of the field and the bales that you're doing, you're going to want to test maybe 20 bales, depending on the size of the field. You're just going to simply turn it upside down with the bucket. There's a dowel rod that you can push into the end with the bit and push the sample down into the bucket, getting all of that sample. The nice thing about this bit, and with the small square bales, is as you go through that, it's actually going to go ahead and make those into pretty fine pieces. So they're only about 3/4 inch in length, the size of the bit. So you won't have to chop those up any further if you're going to dry them. And once I do a couple more bales with this, we'll be ready to go ahead. We can dry this down to check for the moisture content. And then this would also be a good sample that you could go ahead and send into the lab and get the analysis results. Taking a sample on a round bale is fairly similar to that of doing it on a small square bale. However, you're going to want to go ahead and drill this into the bale on the round side, not on the flat side. This will give you a more representative sample of your hay. And again, you're just going to go ahead, have the drill in forward, one hand here on the sample probe. You're going to have to work it in a little bit, and you're going to want to try and get that probe almost to the center of the bale. And again, you'll just take this off and empty the contents into a bucket. Sample several round bales from each field to get a good representative sample. Now that we have samples out of multiple bales on this wagon load, you can see we have a good amount of hay in here. It's pretty finely chopped. Now we're ready to go ahead and dry this forage down. There's a couple different methods that you can use for determining the dry matter content or the moisture percentage of that forage. One way to do that is to use a microwave. There are detailed instructions if you go ahead and click the link. You can find that on our webpage, wayne.osu.edu. You can also use Vortex Dryer, which is designed by Penn State. You can construct that at home. That's a fairly inexpensive option. You can build one yourself for about $40 to $60, but again, remember your time is valuable, and you'll have to go and purchase the supplies in order to make that. You can find a link to build one of those also here on this video. You can go ahead and buy forage moisture probes or temperature probes. Those tend to be a little bit more expensive. You're looking somewhere in a couple $100 range. As far as accuracy goes, the microwave drying method is within 1% to 2% accurate that of a commercial dryer. So that's going to get you a pretty good reading. The Vortex Dryer has also shown to have readings that are within 1% of what you would get from a commercial analysis. Some of the more expensive probes, while they're quick and easy and you can do it out in the field, they're not quite as accurate. So you have a little bit of a give and take, whether you want to spend a lot of money and get instant results that might not be as accurate, or you'll have to spend a little bit more time in order to get a slightly more accurate reading. However, any analysis that you get, any way that you choose to determine the dry matter, is going to be better than not knowing at all. There's a lot of quick and easy methods that people have used in the past before we had some of these options available, involving twisting the hay out in the field, making a ball, seeing how quickly it unravels or comes apart. And while those can be good, especially if you're experienced and know what has worked for you in the past, it's not always the easiest for people who are getting started, and sometimes mistakes can be made with that, or maybe representative samples aren't taken. If you're going to go ahead and get the sample out in the field before you choose to bale it, which we didn't have any hay left to bale after we had done these, you're going to want to go ahead and take that sample across the entire section of the windrow. You don't want to go ahead and just grab a clump of hay here and there. It's going to vary throughout the field, but again, you need to take a number of samples per field in various places throughout it. So go ahead and you want to take the middle, sides, and all the way down through. Imagine just going ahead and slicing that all the way down like a loaf of bread. And you want to take that entire section out and put that into your bucket. For a lot of these drying processes, you're going to need to cut those into smaller pieces, maybe somewhere around 2 inches in length. That'll just make it easier in order to get a smaller quantity as well, so you have a good weight on that, a weight that's easy to work with.